Welcome to the Fitmama podcast, where it's all about gaining your health back as a busy woman and mom, and doing it without sacrificing time with your family or business. Here is your host, mompreneur and Fitmama health coach, Angela Campbell.
Good morning, Fit Mompreneur community. I'm super excited. I love coming in here weekly on some new trainings with you all to be successful in your journey. This community is full of women that are busy doing multiple things, growing businesses, growing babies, raising families, chasing their dreams, and growing careers, all of the above. We are busy women in this community, all looking for a place to have some support and guidance and love. Most importantly, to get our health back on track so that we can truly show up and be better versions of ourselves for everybody else, right? So on today, I'm going to talk about, I made a post over the weekend about eating 3 slices of pizza and having a mommy drink at the pool and still managing to maintain my weight and being able to do that, not all the time, I don't do it every day, but once in a while, and still being able to continue having results while enjoying your life. Hey, Shauna, what is up, girl? I think it's a very powerful thing. I want to help, I feel like I'm guided. My biggest purpose is to help women see that that's possible. Like, you can truly get results. You can truly become a healthier, leaner, fitter version of yourselves while enjoying your life. You don't have to live with restrictions and eating out of Tupperwares while your family's enjoying the pizza by the pool. Like, you can truly have it, right? So I'm going to talk about some things that I personally do, some things that I, teach the women that we coach that they can do as well too, to help you get results. So you don't have to go 10 steps backwards by one meal, by helping you live with moderation versus restriction, and so you're not sabotaging your results with one bad meal. And when these days are coming up where you're going to have a cheat meal, these days are going to come up when you have an event or something to celebrate. Like, I'm going to share some things that you can actually do to plan for those types of days. And that's what I did Saturday whenever I knew we were going to be chilling by the pool. I knew I might have a mommy drink because I hadn't had one in a while, and there's absolutely zero wrong with that, you guys, if that's what you want to do. Everybody's different. But then also, how I planned for that day so that I didn't even go over my calories, and my macros were pretty close to on point, not perfect, because I don't strive for perfection and I don't encourage anybody to, but you can truly have success by doing those types of things. So I'm going to share those today. We're going to talk about what you can do when having a meal, when you don't have as much control because you're not going to be at home, how you can get results in your weight loss while enjoying life, why you can get results without sabotaging, right? Before I start, I also want to give a major shout out to a lot of women. Right now we have 24 women going through our Jumpstart Detox program. If that's you, put me in the comments if you are someone going through it. And I got to share 24 women right now going through it we have a community specific to this when we run this program a few times a year. And the results already are amazing. Not only are women feeling better and they're seeing differences in their skin, they're having more energy, they're losing bloat in their stomach, they are already dropping pounds. I had some share with me, they've already dropped 3 pounds, 4 pounds. Everybody's different, and we still have the rest of this week to go. So all the results coming soon, but kudos because you just overcame a huge struggle, which is the weekends. And yes, Charlotte, and you were rocking it, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being on today. And they got through a weekend following a meal plan that is a little bit more strict and more preparation needed, but it's also yummy, right? And that's a big deal. And also I want to give a big shout out too for Shauna. Shauna makes is phenomenal. I adore you, and I love getting to work with you. Just finished 12 weeks and recommitted to some more time with us. I can't wait to see what we do over these next 12 weeks. Over the first 12 weeks, you've changed so much. Your pictures are drastic. 13 pounds down, 13 to 16 inches down. Like, you're just transforming, not just in the physical part, but the mental part. And that's my favorite. So again, let's talk about how in the world you can enjoy life as well too while you're getting results. You know, the key to it, if you follow me at all, if you're brand new, like this is your first video, put first in the comments. This also goes on our podcast. So it's also put on our podcast, Fitmama podcast. If you need the podcast so you can subscribe to it, put podcast below and I'll drop it down so that you can see it. But these Monday trainings that we do as well to go on the podcast so that you can listen to them on multiple places and not always have to dig in the Facebook group for it, right? But the thing and the key to it, if you follow anything I share and say when it comes to nutrition of a busy woman trying to lose weight, lose belly fat especially, and just feel good in your own skin again, feel good enough so that you can focus, that you can actually function, that you can stop saying no to your kids because I'm too tired, that I want to play with it, right? And the key to is eat healthy, not dieting. You guys, and that's what we're doing in the detox program. So let's see, Charlotte, yes, we have had a date night planned for over a month. It is Saturday and I do not want to mess myself up. Yes, I want you to enjoy it and I'm going to share with you some things that you can do today, right? So the key is to eat healthy, not dieting, not living in restriction. So there's so many fad diets out there right now that tell you to cut out every single carb in your diet and then cut out this, cut out that, do all this stuff. Well, here's what happens is when you do those restrictive, those diets, so to speak, that literally they don't allow you to go out and eat. They don't allow you to go out and enjoy pizza by the pool or a night out at a restaurant without going totally backwards in a lot of them, not all of them. Okay, but I want you to learn ways that you can actually enjoy those things. If you can plan your cheat day, your cheat meals, everybody has a difference of opinions. I don't say go blow the entire day. That's not what I'm saying here. But I am saying and go enjoy something with your family. Go enjoy a date night. Go enjoy a birthday party. Go enjoy all the things. I had a pizza meal on Friday, and then Wednesday we actually had dinner out at a Mexican food restaurant because it was my sister-in-law's 50th birthday. And then the Saturday before that, we had my birthday party at a Mexican food restaurant. And still, I hit the 130 the day before my birthday last week. Gosh, it was June 9th, whenever the heck that was. And we had all these events and my goal was 130. I hit 129 the day before, and I'm still maintaining the 130 even with those events. Why? Because again, I planned and I did some of these things that I'm going to share with you today that you can do for those, right? So first, I want to get the biggest message across. In order to be able to do that and not take 10 steps backwards, it's about eating healthy. It's about making better choices. It's about making sure that you're eating enough. You guys, if you didn't see some of my trainings over the last few weeks, go back and look and I can tag you if you need it. There's one specifically that I talked about the power behind eating enough food, because if you're not eating enough food, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're killing your metabolism and you're telling your body to keep that weight, keep the weight on, keep the belly fat on. Don't let it go because she may starve me, right? There's a whole nother training I did on that, right? But the first key is eating healthy, not dieting. Learning to live with moderation, not restriction. Tracking food for accountability. How many of you guys actually track food? Put track in the comments. I'm an advocate of tracking food, not for life, because I don't think anybody, and nor do I want to track my food forever. I don't. And I don't want anybody to ever have to feel like you have to track your food or I'm going to fall off the bandwagon. Like eventually, if you track your food long enough, you get into a habit or a lifestyle. You get into a lifestyle of eating enough protein. You get into a lifestyle of fueling your body with enough food and fuel to function. When you track your food, you have that accountability of knowing. I've gone years and years of not tracking, and I always fought, when I would go back and track, I always fell into bad habits of not eating enough food and not eating enough protein. So when I'm tracking, I'm making sure I'm doing all these things. I do suggest tracking, especially if you're in the stages of trying to figure it out, trying to lose the weight, lose the belly fat, get some results, right? If you're just winging it, you have a really hard time of getting results because you're winging it. You don't really know what's going in your mouth. Now, unless you're following a specific meal plan, like you ladies right now are in the detox plan, I suggest if you're following something that like that's strategic I don't suggest tracking because you don't have to. Follow this exact plan that I laid out to you, and I promise it works. Don't stress yourself about tracking. But then eventually, to keep it as a lifestyle and really learn that way, we do a little bit of tracking. Why? So we can see what everything is. So we can measure some stuff and help you learn what you need to do in a way that you can actually make this a lifestyle, that you can actually sustain, keep the results, keep going. And then the other key besides tracking is planning ahead. Planning ahead is everything. So the women that are learning in the detox program right now, they are planning ahead. They are planning because I wrote an exact meal plan for them to follow, and they're following that. But guess what they're planning is, I got to go grocery shop, so now I got to plan on what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to buy, what am I going to cook. And then they're planning when they're going to actually meal prep, and then they're actually meal prepping their food. Right? And so these little habits are things that I hope to instill in you to not just do during the meal plan, but to continue going. A lot of women have realized this week, like they've never meal prepped before, but they've meal prepped and they're like, oh my gosh, this makes my life so much easier. It didn't consume my life to go meal prep like a lot of people think, so then they don't even do it. Yeah, it took some time and some effort, but once that's done, the week goes so much smoother because now all they have to do is grab the food, eat the food. They don't have to stop and figure it out in the moment and stress themselves out like finding what should I eat. It's there. It's already done. Right? So they're planning ahead. You guys, in planning for meals and things like this that I'm going to talk about are so crucial and important. Now, I'm not saying like you can still do stuff. Some of the things that I'm going to share with you, if maybe it's a spur of the moment, go out to eat. Like those happen. It's about making better choices when you go out to eat, but actually enjoy them. Enjoy it, right? So if there's a weekend or event coming up, and this is, there's a couple different options you can do. There's 2 different ways you can do this. And I do both ways periodically. It just kind of depends on my mood. So throughout the week, I've meal prepped. I'm eating, I'm tracking my food. I'm making sure that I'm hitting my calorie goals that are for my body, but it's not only about calories. To me, it's about the macros. I follow macros. I also teach women about them in a simplified format so you understand why in the world do I need that much protein, Angela, instead of just shooting for a number. Or stressing yourself out to figure out what the heck is that number, or stressing yourself out to figure out how do I even reach that number. But I do currently, I'm all about my macros. I know what protein I need to hit that day. I know what my carbs goals are for that day, and I know how much fat I need for that day. So I'm planning ahead for that, right? But if I have a weekend coming up, if I have a weekend or event coming up where I know I'm not going to have control, or maybe I just want to let go and I want to enjoy myself without obsessing over what goes in my mouth, right? If you want to enjoy yourself, put the word enjoy below. I think we all do, right? Like everybody does, and you should be able to. Here's what I do. So for example, this weekend, perfect example. I knew I was going to order pizza because we haven't done it in weeks, or I don't even know if it's been maybe in months. You know, it was a nice little treat for the kids. I had a lot of work that I was doing trying to play a ton of catch up, so I didn't want to cook either. So I knew the pizza was coming for dinner. So this is what I did. I started my day and I spent all of my day eating low carbs. This is where I do go lower carbs because I knew I was going to have a lot more at my dinner with the pizza. So if you know that's going to be the case, then I knew I went lower carb throughout the day. I ate protein in all of my meals, actually very high protein snacks all day, and some fruit leading up to the meal of pizza. And then when I had the pizza, I enjoyed it with zero guilt because I knew I was on target. But here's the thing too, if you know what you're going to eat, like I knew it was going to be pizza, I track my food. Again, this is another perk of tracking your food because you can plan ahead by doing it. I tracked myself 3 pieces. I know me, and I kind of want to enjoy myself a little bit. Normally I was like, I usually try to stick to 2, a little bit more moderation, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with 3. So I actually tracked 3. I plugged it in that morning, 3 pieces of pizza. And then that's already in my Fitness Pal, right? So then I plugged in the rest of the day, made sure that I had protein. Now protein shakes, like for example, these are some of the meals that I had through the day. I actually started that day with, I think I had 3 eggs that morning for breakfast. Okay. High protein, but I didn't do my oatmeal like I normally would. Because I knew I was going to go lower carb throughout the day. So I actually did eggs, and then A couple of hours later, I had Greek yogurt, which is a great source of protein, you guys. I had Greek yogurt and a protein shake that day. That was, I believe, my first snack. And I can even go back and I'll share a screenshot of my log. I'll put it in the comments so you guys can see it. High protein snack. So I had a shake and I had some oatmeal. And then I had a high protein, low carb lunch. So I ate chicken and some green vegetables that day, and I did not eat the sweet potato that I normally would eat, that I normally actually had planned for that day. Instead, I just had my chicken and I had my greens. And then I had another shake, and then it was pizza time. Okay, so that allowed me to keep my protein high. I ate enough food. I did not go way under low calories, but I did not go crazy over calories either. So it was protein snacks throughout the day. High protein, low carb, still get your fruit in there, you guys. Fruit is fiber and it's a healthy carb. Still get your green veggies in there. Those are fibrous carbs and fiber. These are positive things. I just didn't go with my heavier carb choices, and then I enjoyed my pizza, and I still was very close to my nutritional goals that I'm shooting for. And then I got on the scale the next day, and it was still in the 130s, 130.5, I think, or 0.6 or whatever, still 130s. Right? So that's one way to do it. Okay. So if you know that something is coming, even if you're going out to a restaurant, do your best. You know, you may not be able to track the exact meal that you're going to eat out, but you can get close. You can get close. Maybe if it's a restaurant you go to normally and you know the foods that you typically like, plan ahead. That's another tip. If you are going out to eat for a treat, know what you're going to get before you get there. Don't go to the restaurant blindly going in thinking, I don't have a clue what I'm going to get. I'm going to look at the menu and I'm going to study the menu and then I'm going to choose. You get yourself into trouble at that point. So if you're going to a restaurant, some of my women that I'm coaching, like they'll send me the restaurant that they're going to and they'll send me their menu and I'll look at it and I'll help them make a choice of what they can eat when they go. And so when you get there, the best thing you can do when you're going to a restaurant is order as fast as you can. Don't study the menu. Go in knowing what you're going to have. Menu is full of temptations that you're going to end up talking yourself into something that you're going to regret later, right? So go in there. If you're going to a restaurant, my favorite thing to do and suggest is the leanest meat on the menu that you can have, and the rest of your plate full of greens. Okay, and that's going to help stay semi on your targets. Try to stay away from all the extra, even the sweet potatoes at restaurants nowadays, they're huge. And then they're loaded in butter, and then they have marshmallows on top of that. And like, holy cow, it took a healthy carb too, loaded in sugar and all kinds of stuff. So when you go out to eat, it's just about making better choices. Enjoy yourself, make better choices in moderation, enjoy yourself. Don't kill yourself with the rolls. If you're a bread person like me, if I go out to a restaurant, it's really hard if they bring rolls to the table, I have a really hard time. Anybody else a bread person? Put bread below. Yeah, Charlotte, they make the healthy carb, like a sweet potato, into like this massively crazy high calorie, high sugar, high sodium, high fat dessert. They do the same when it comes to salads. So if you're getting a salad when you go out to eat, be careful of what they put on it. Get your dressing on the side, because then you have control. Then you have control of the serving size. Instead of just pouring your dressing all over your salad, get it on the side. Then you can put your salad on your fork and then dip. You get enough to get a taste, but not like going crazy. Sometimes a salad at a restaurant is way worse than getting a hamburger because of all the crap that they put on top of it. You've got, and some of these are healthy fats, you guys, but when you put them all on one plate, it's too much. So when you get a salad, then you got loads of ranch on it, and then you've got olives, and then you've got avocado, and then you've got nuts, and then you've got, I don't know, you just imagine all this extra stuff they put on top. Then your fat just skyrocketed to 100 grams of fat in one meal when we don't even want half of that in the entire day. So So I think you get what I'm saying. So it starts with like planning your day, eating high protein, low carb throughout the day, and then enjoy the meal. But be careful in your choices. Just make better choices. You know, and if it's a dessert you want to enjoy with your especially for like a date night, then eat your healthy meal and allow yourself a dessert. Maybe share it instead of getting one for him and one for you. You know, share it. It's portion sizes, moderation. And then the next thing is, I'll go into that last. I was going to talk a little bit more about mentally preparing yourself, which I'm going to talk about that next, but I want to talk about the second option. The second option that you can do, besides eating high protein, low carb all day until that nice meal and then enjoy it, the second thing you can do is intermittent fasting. I'm not an intermittent fasting fan every single day, but I like to use it as a tool once in a while. And some of the women I have that I'm coaching, we use it as a tool. So again, another scenario that you can do. If you are going to have a night out or a cheat meal like I did at the pool with pizza or whatever it is, another thing that you can do is do an intermittent fasting day, not all the time. And here's why I'm not a fan of intermittent fasting every day. Some women it works, some people it works amazing for. The women that I work with, the women that I coach, the women that I talk to, even a lot of you ladies in here, already have bad habits of not eating enough food. So the last thing I would want someone to do that has a bad habit of not fueling their body enough with enough calories, you're already eating too low of calories and all the macros throughout the entire day, all the time. The last thing I want you to go is to fasting every single day. Why? Because it just leads to bad habits of not eating enough food for most people. Most people, okay? Not everybody. Listen up. Like if you do intermittent fasting, there's a method behind it. There's fasting and there's starving. I see a lot of women go into, I'm going to intermittent fast only because they just don't want to eat breakfast and they skip breakfast. And then they skip breakfast, skip snack, and then they start with lunch, right? But then they're so busy, then they tend to skip meals even when they're supposed to be eating only in an 8-hour window. And then they end up slowing their metabolism down and killing it. And then they can't lose weight to save their life. That is why I'm not a fan of fasting every day. More women that I coach are fasting and they fasted for a long time. I pull them from it, encourage them to get back to eating multiple meals, starting your day with a good, solid, healthy breakfast to start your day. And you can have smaller meals throughout the day, eat enough versus starving yourself. But this is the exception to the rule right here. If you've got something coming up, you can also intermittent fast that day. So, for example, this could have been another option that I didn't choose this weekend, but I've done it in the past. So if I have a cheat meal coming up that night, then I'll stop eating around 7 or 8 o'clock the night before, okay? And then I'll fast all the way up until around noon the next day. And then when I do break my fast, I'm still doing a lot of protein, and fiber, which can be fruit, which can be vegetables, which can be starting my first meal with a good solid protein and a healthy carb. You can eat your calories that you're required in that fed state and still get amazing results. So intermittent fasting can be used as a tool. That's what I believe in, that everybody has different opinions, and that's what I practice for myself as well too. And it gives your digestive system a little bit of a break as well too. So the mental part of it that I want you to prepare yourself for, if you know you're on this journey, right? If you're on a journey, those of you guys in the detox program, we're encouraging you guys to wake up Friday morning and do a weigh-in, do a progress check. Let's see what happened over this time. So we're planning that on Friday morning. So mentally prepare yourself for it. Know that it's coming. Plan to get up with an extra 10 minutes. And knock that out, submit them so that we can help you win and help you celebrate and help you see the changes that you made. Now, the mental part that I want to share with you is, say if you are going to do any of these options and you're going to go out and you're going to have a dinner night out or whatever it is that you got going on, the last thing that you should do is get on the scale the next day. Why? Because eating out, even if it meets your calories and your macros and all the stuff, the biggest thing that I have to make sure that you understand, you're going to have extra sodium just from simply eating out. So know that it's water weight, guys. You cannot gain fat by one bad meal. You won't take 10 steps backwards by having one meal off of the plan. But only if you're living a lifestyle versus a crazy fad diet that's super restrictive. You cannot gain fat overnight. You guys, why do you think it's a slower process to lose fat, to lose inches, to the way that we coach and we teach? If you want to lose fat, you have to mentally be ready that it's a slow and steady pace. Slow and steady wins the race. You're not going to see magically huge numbers drop. You don't lose fat that fast. And that's why some of these fad diets, when you're dropping huge numbers on the scale fast, it is weight. It is not fat. Your body is still holding on to fat. It doesn't get rid of it that fast. And you don't gain fat that fast either. So you can enjoy that meal, have moderation, enjoy it, have no guilt, enjoy that moment, and then get right back on track the next day. You're going to be perfectly fine. Just know the scale might be up for the next day or two because it's just sodium. It's water weight. Flush it out. Drink your water. Get right back on track. Those of you on the detox, you can drink the tea the next morning, the few mornings after too, and just help your body reset and get back on track. It's one bad meal. It's one bad meal. It is not a make or break, and it should not send you so far backwards and sabotage the results that you've had just because you had one meal. Me personally, I feel like you should do this once in a while, once a month, once every other week. Enjoy yourself a meal like that. Why? Because it's mentally will help you stay on track. If you're trying to go super hardcore, crazy, restrictive for a really long time, it's gonna suck. It's gonna not be fun. You're gonna feel like you're missing out on life. You're gonna feel so many emotions that are not good emotions if you just go crazy restrictive for a really long time and think that you can sustain that. Sustaining long-term is what we shoot for. That's what I love to teach. That's what I love to help you see, that there is a way that you can actually do it. And it just takes consistency, consistently showing up for you, giving yourself grace if you have a bad day, because we all sometimes lose a little bit of motivation. We all let stress in life take over sometimes and have a bad meal, have a bad snack. It's not the end of the world. You should not give up just because of one bad meal. And if you plan it, just like the things that I shared with you, you can continue results, continue have success, flush some water weight out you might hold because of you're eating out. You had that nice moment with your family, and then just jump right back on track and you'll be perfectly fine. I hope that helped you guys. If you have any questions, drop your questions below in the comments. I'd love to answer them. My inbox is always open to shoot me a message. I'd be happy to answer them. Just be patient with me. If I don't respond right away, I will, I promise. Other than that, more trainings every single Monday, 10 a.m. Central in this group. More trainings coming your way based on the conversations I have with you guys. I usually talk about a topic that I feel called to share based on the conversations that I hear a lot of you guys struggle with. And my goal is to bring that value to you in here. So other than that, this group is a safe place. So feel free to ask questions. Feel free to share your journey in here. Feel free to share your selfies from workouts and let us love on you. Let us support you. Have it a place of accountability, whether you're coaching with us or whether you're doing it the journey on your own. This place is designed with culture and love, and I want it to always feel that way. No judgment zone ever. So share out loud, ask your questions, check out the guide section in this group. There's so much value and so many, there's trainings, there's free resources in here, all the stuff that you can take advantage of. Or again, like I said, get in my inbox. We can always chat more on any of the things that you got going on. So love you guys. Thank y'all for listening. And any more questions, send them my way. We'll chat soon. Bye.